We've gone through the stage where we work for civil rights and women's rights and children's rights, and now it's only a very logical extension to go to animal rights.
The question to me is, what are the relevant moral differences that allow us to treat human beings in one way and non-human beings in another?
Women are accustomed to live in a human society. Now we have to learn to live in the life community.
From 2010 to 2012, UCLA used 2,558 animals in research experiments. This includes bats, bobcats, cats, chinchillas, dogs, guinea pigs, hamsters, rabbits, marmots, non-human primates, sheep, pigs, zebras, and other animals not protected. In the year 2015 alone in California, over 80,000 animals were used in the college and university research facilities. Let's take a couple minutes of silence to remember these animals that were kept locked in cages, tortured, and experiments so that vivisectors can make a quick buck and have nice houses in rich neighborhoods with tons of cops and security to silence activists and intimidate the animal rights movement.
A letter to Edythe London. To a monkey in Edythe London's lab. Who is this monkey? A girl or a boy? If a girl, is she young or old? A teenager? A set in her ways? Middle-ager? Is old age creeping through her bones? Does she want to leap around the world of trees? Or find solace in the peace of a quiet green corner? Is she an outgoing monkey, alive to the possibilities of mischievous pranks on her friends? Does she like to chatter and gossip, to shoot the breeze? Or is she the shy, retiring type, the reflective sort, who wonders at the stars, at the shivering leaves, at the sigh of the wind? Does she like to lead, to boss, to have her way? Does she throw tantrums when her point of view isn't the rule of the day? Or is the song of harmony and peace what soothes her heart? The goodwill of friends and neighbors, her cup of tea. Is she crafty? A puzzle solver? The one with both plan A and B? Or is she a little slow on the uptake? A tad absent-minded, prone to wander after an ant climbing along a tree limb? Is she a mother? What happened to her child? Does she ache for the little one she once cradled in her arms? Does she still hear in her mind's ear his soft breath, his dreamy whimpering? What happened to her mother? Does she still remember snuggling close to her breast, racing back to her embrace at the fright of moving shadows? Is she bickering of siblings lost in the fog? Their smell, their faces, their touch, the forgotten dreams. Emptinesses now too far away to mourn. Is all of this now gone? or never known? Was there never an adventure-laden world of trees and birds and bugs and bees and sun and night and stars? Was there never the close communion of others, the feel of searching fingers through fur, the screech of warning calls and shouts of eureka's across the glen, the daily jigsaw of rivalries and alliances and cliques? Can she only remember the cold metal bars of a world she was born into? Are the only embracing arms she's ever known the ones that pin her down, clamp her in, gag her silent? The harsh lights, the clanging steel, the clack of locks, the sting of needles, the nausea of fear, the clench of panic, the erasure of self, the void of life in death. Is this all there is and has ever been and forever will be? And why? Who did this? Who is responsible? You are Edythe London, who has become death, the destroyer of worlds. You have, Edythe London. You have.
6 beagle puppies killed by the University of Missouri. Could have been the University of Missouri, could have been UCLA, could have been any one of these so-called research centers. These dogs were blinded. Such a product was already on the market. They're blinded even though the researchers admitted that 6 dogs will not make a research result. It's not enough dogs. We need to use 24 dogs, yet 6 dogs is what they use. 6 dogs were blinded. Finally killed. Study whether a corneal healing medication is actually going to work or not. Story of the market. 2011, 2 pharmaceutical companies decided to test whether or not eating journal articles results were repeatable. One company found that 11% were repeatable. Another one found that 25% were repeatable. Last week's Science magazine talked about rats, talked about mice. It's all about gut bacteria in mice. We found out that if we want to experiment on bone density, the mice lost bone density if they given certain substances. Yet the next batch of mice, they didn't lose any bone density, and yet another subsequent batch of mice, they actually gained bone density. Why was this? Well, they found out that the gut bacteria, the gut flora, was different. We bought these mice from the same laboratory, the same supplier, in a sterile environment, yet the results meant nothing. This is vivisection. This is Edythe London. Any vivisector in the country, in the world, doing this stuff. You're getting results which don't make any difference, which have random outputs. You're applying them, you can't even apply them to the same fucking species again. It doesn't work. And you're trying to apply this to humans? You are crazy. This is you, Edythe London. This is you and all of your ilk. You make me sick. Blind beagles. Experiments that you know will have no repercussions whatsoever. I call on you, Edythe London, to stop this craziness. People who are respected, and you are respected, even though you're still scum, you're still respected in this community, you can speak out and do something about this. Stop this stupid scourge from happening. Even the past president of the NIH said that he must have drunk Kool-Aid to understand and think that these habitats have anything to do with humans. You make the right decision. You're at the end of your career. Speak out. Stop craziness.
Animals don't know what the weather's like. They're locked in cages.
They say everything can be replaced, yet every distance is not near. So I remember every face of everyone who put them here. I see their light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, they shall be released. They say every human needs protection, and so every animal must fall. But I swear I see their reflection high above their prison wall. I see their light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, they shall be released. I see their light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, they shall be released.
I do not understand how one could knowingly inflict harm, poke at, fraud animals without any guilt. Do you not have a conscience? Do you not see the pain, the fear in their eyes? Do you not see them recoil into their cage as you attempt to exploit their bodies? They are not commodities. They are not there just for the use of human beings. They are beings. They are animals, just as we are animals. We are not God. We cannot exploit them This is not good science. The tests do not correlate. They are not the same species. How often is it that we spend so much money on these experiments and we don't have any cures that are effective? Sometimes there are correlations. Most of the time, no. It is not good science, it is fraud. They're using our taxpayer money to torture these animals. I thought you had a heart. I thought every human being had a heart, just as animals do. They would not do this to us. How could you?
great tragedy of these experiments is that so many individuals across this nation are in desperate, desperate need of some form of recovery service. People suffering addictions need help. The primates and other animals viciously addicted to crystal meth, to tobacco, and other substances are not leading to any cures for the human beings suffering with chronic addiction. Here in Los Angeles County alone, there are not enough beds, there are not enough openings in recovery centers, in sober living centers, and yet millions are being poured into experiments that have been done for 30 or more years, leading to absolutely no change, leading to no cure. We must speak up as a species. The same heinous actions were perpetrated on African slaves, Jews during the Holocaust, and people with fragile intellectual, emotional, and mental capacity. We now look back with horror at those actions. We tisk, tisk, tisk at those people who allowed that to happen. And yet tragically, here in the state of California and in this nation, we allow our tax dollars to go towards needless experiments that are not improving human health, they are not advancing science, they are not creating a safer, healthier world. No less than Dr. Inouye, the former head of the National Institutes of Health, has said that animal experimentation does not work and is not leading to any scientific advance. I certainly do not rank Dr. Inouye as an animal rights advocate. In fact, he would probably be offended to be aligned with us. He considers himself a man of science. This man of science is on record. His quote verbatim is, "We swallowed the Kool-Aid." Tragically, professors at UCLA like Dr. Edythe London are not advancing human health. They are not creating a safer world. Tragically, they are taking money for extraordinarily wasteful actions, leading to absolutely no improvement of health for any human being. We desperately, desperately need to improve the lot of our most fragile human beings. Those suffering with addiction, those suffering with numerous disease. Animal experimentation is not the road to that solution. We stand here today in peace, begging the UCLA and the UC community to stop wasting vital funds, to move towards actual science which improves the lives of all on this planet.
The reason this research will never work is because they're extrapolating results on animals who are caged their whole lives. To study addiction, you have to include the cultural component. It's the mind, the body, and the culture that causes addiction. You can't just look at animals that have spent their whole lives in cages and extrapolate the results onto human beings who live within a culture. The culture is part of the addiction. There's a triad: mind, body, the physicality, and the culture. These scientists can kill monkey after monkey, experiment, having them overdosing in tubes, one after another, one after another. They're never curing addiction this way. Dr. Gabor Mate out of Canada is a leading researcher. He's cutting edge science on this subject, and he also says you are not going to get an end to addiction through animal research. These animals are in cages. It's not the same as a person living in society. As a former UCLA student, a UCLA alumnus, I'm horrified by the actions of UCLA, by the money wasted. It always catches me if science is so concerned about human health. Where is the conversation about prevention? You never hear that. You never hear it, because they're not. There's no money in that. The money is at the other end, when people are already addicted and people are already sick.
Edythe London, we see you. We see what you do. Edythe London, you kill, you waste, and you're rewarded for it. Edythe London, we see you. Accountability will come time and time again. We have not forgotten your name, Edythe London. We have not forgotten your address, Edythe London. We will never rest. You will know no peace until you let these animals out of this abusive, wasteful, unnecessary system of animal testing. Edythe London, we see you and we're not going away.
Letter to Edythe London. Why do people smoke? There are probably as many reasons as there are brands of cigarettes. For many, the coolness factor gets them started. Boredom, perhaps, is an influence. Or maybe because it's fun. Some say it helps them to relax, or to work, to concentrate. Others think of a cigarette as a friend. Certainly, advertising had a lot to do with it in the past, as people armchair craved the liberty, lavish life of the Marlboro Man. Movie and TV heroes mouth the message as well. Mad men smoke. Why not me? And a cigarette is something for the hand that's not holding the drink to do. Searching out the reasons people engage in this life-robbing activity is important to know. Finding out what kinds of personalities are more prone to it than others is a step on the road to ending smoking. Helping people with this people problem is a worthy endeavor. Why do monkeys smoke? A monkey smokes because a person in a white coat straps him down and shoves the smoke in his lungs, or she shoots the nicotine in his veins. He is stressed, anxious, panicked, terrified. Adrenaline courses through his system. The state of his brain is not the brain of someone blowing smoke circles at the ceiling. The sound he hears is not the clinking of the ice in his cocktail, the chatter of party gossip. His brain is sending the signals of a mind filled with the whine of pain, the moan of desperation, the scream of horror. Smoking is not fun or relaxing or social. Smoking is hell, prison, an endless limbo of despair. Why do monkeys smoke? Because you make them, Edythe London. I am here for this monkey. I am here to hold up a light to his life lost in darkness. We are here to say, Edythe London, stop this madness now.
I see their light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, they shall be released. We see their light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, they shall be released.
When you Google UCLA and vivisection, the first thing that comes up is this poorly written, shitty article from the Huffington Post, titled something like, "Activists Use Violence and Intimidation Against UCLA Vivisectors." And I wonder how much that article and website was paid so that it could be the first thing you see and the first thing you read when you want to learn more about animal testing at UCLA. And it makes me sick to my stomach that people actually buy this information, this misinformation about us, because we are not violent. We're not the violent ones. The doctors at universities who think it's okay to buy animals who are trapped and captured from other countries, shipped here, or even bred here, put them in cages in dark rooms or underground labs behind concrete walls with no windows so that the public doesn't know what's going on, put knives into their heads, force them to inhale smoke, inject them with drugs. Meanwhile, they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants from the government and our tax dollars. But that's not the first thing that the public gets to read about. And that's what makes me sick to my stomach. But you know what, Edythe London? It's not always going to be that way. No matter what you do, there will always be activists who are going to come and speak out against what you are doing. There are always going to be activists at your home, at your job, where you're shopping, everywhere, letting the public know about your heinous, atrocious crimes against animal and nature and the environment and us. So you will always be expecting us as long as you're doing what you're doing. We will always keep coming back. And one day, we will get the public on our side. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. Sometimes we come with a couple people, sometimes we come with a bunch of people. But Edythe London, always know that we will be here.
London, we are the voice for the animals. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget us.
And where will the animal rights controversy end and when? Well, most groups now say it's simply up to you.